Oh, hi, oh, Yasumi. That is a combination of good morning and good evening because all sense of time and space is a stranger to me. I've become unmoored in my relative position in the tides of existence and time and history and all of it. You know, it's like this is all to say it stone cold sucks to have a migraine, dogs. You know it, I know it, the American people know it. Also, man, it's kind of appropriate because it's a Haruhi week. Yay! Oh my god, I'm finally done. Oh my god, it's me for real, for real. I'm the guy from Oshinoko. I'm him every single couple of weeks. It's in the bag. It's up. I'm delighted. I hope in time I can commit to a regular stream schedule, but for now we're still going all guerrilla mode because aside from the editing marathon session, it's just like I'm getting adapted to all this crazy ass work stuff I'm doing IRL. I'm on the grind. I'm on the grind to put those ducats in my pocket. I'm pleased to say that the process has been somewhat efficacious. Oh my god, my syntax is breaking down. It's like my brain stopped working so good. But you know what? You gotta soldier through. The only way out is through, as they say, and this is our ultimate through line. I don't know. I've had a leisurely. I've made good use of my time off. What has it been? 2 weeks? An entire fortnight since the last actual live stream? Maybe it's only been one. I don't know. I'm a straight up Fortnite gamer. It's like, oh, we could be Fortnite gamers. Oh, EG3D did a karaoke stream the other day, and Fortnite Gamers was one of them. It was an amazing cultural experience to be part of. I bore witness to it in a manner displaced in time. It was wonderful, but it made me think, man. Like, hey, yeah, we're all here. it's all so many hapax legomenae passing by, like the words, like the science words in that one OP of Suzumi Haruhi season 2. Speaking of which, Miri, actually, who we've collabed with before, she actually had a swell idea. What about doing an analytic breakdown of the video after it's up and live? I can think of no wiser diversion. Let's obsess. Let's narcissistically obsess with our products. Let us cease to ask questions. Cease your inquiry. Just consume product and then get excited for next product. That's the orders, man. That's how you become a good citizen. So I, for one, will see me at the position of my God-given duty. Let's do just that. Ugh. Now hold on. Okay. Here's the deal. Okay, we're not gonna watch the whole video. Well, at least you do get to see my editing timeline before I shove it into the shadow realm where it belongs. But I do have points I would like to address. Let's take a look. Hold on. I gotta get all intellectualized for this one. There we go. Now I'm ready. Let's take a gander. I hope to God the sound is working still. Hold on. Don't take that as a gotcha. Okay, you know what? The video got bonked for some copyright stuff a little bit, and I'm shocked that this wasn't part of it. It was just the background music. It was all the OST music from Suzumi Haruhi. It wasn't this clip from Terminator. I gotta say though, the Terminator 2 footage of that, the guy gasping and exploding, that's my mental state at a given moment. That's actually 100% accurate. That clip is so important to me. You don't understand. It's been years and years that it's been a private, I guess what you'd call a private meme, and now I finally have an opportunity to share it with the world. It's magic. Hold on, there's another point. There's another thing around here. Both those made by man and God.
You can join the family. I'm gonna name you.
Okay, I forget what this fucker's name is. This is a real live streamer, and I found the clip of it. Like, apparently the idea, right? The logic behind this is he was going to do like a 24-hour eternal live stream from now on, right? He was still going to stream, but he was whenever he logged off, his little AI simulacrum was gonna take the wheel and do the streaming from then on. And this is an example of it. And this clip just summarizes so well, and it was gobsmacking. If I didn't establish enough context, I mean, this is genuinely meant to be entertaining. It's supposed to be fungible. Emphasis on the fun. But like, when I found that clip, I laughed hysterically for 8 years. I don't even. It just illustrates the point so perfectly well. Hold on. There was a lot to cover, but I'm pretty happy with the overall pacing of this opening section. We don't get to mention lost.jpg too often these days.
The many missiles loosed from her leaving indelible marks on the internet's cultural landscape. My own dim memories of that time are a kaleidoscopic mishmash of her, the Team Fortress 2 guys, and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right, man. It was so important to me to be able to finally have a Mama Luigi YouTube poop feature in a video. That is, oh, dude, tragically, the original channel's gone. It was a user on YouTube whose name was Mama Luigi, but like spelt backwards, right? And they did the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube poop music videos. Those are legitimately the backbone of my entire cultural world from circa 15 years ago. I found this on a Mirror channel someplace, and oh man, we need a museum, dude. We need some kind of museum to preserve our culture. These are our stories. I feel like Worf trying to teach those the Klingons that were being held prisoner on the Romulan camp planet or whatever. I feel like I'm going crazy because all of the most important pillars of my cultural upbringing are being claimed by the fell hand of time. Sorry, I'm feeling kind of needlessly verbose because this writing mode has got me in a certain kind of mood. Okay, hold on a minute. There's a funny little part I want to. There's something that comes up a lot, and I talked about it a bit, but it's those like I talked about it back in one of the video editing servers, but it's like one of those times. One of the hardest parts about making these things is harvesting 5,000 years of B-roll footage from all the episodes in the universe and finding where to put them. It is honestly, it is such a task. Oh, hello, P-Foul Gamer. How are you doing? I'm just living down the 55th migraine of the month, but that's all right. I'm kind of on the mend. I've had to ping pong back and forth between diurnal and nocturnal activity patterns, and it's driving me insane. What little brain I ever had is going to come leaking out through my eyes and ears soon, I think. But yeah, I was talking about there's lots of little moments of emergence in a video like this because wait, did you just say how old am I? Huh? I think I tried to say howdy. Maybe I said it wrong. I don't remember. That was hours ago. That was literally seconds ago. Is it getting hot in here? What's going on? Huh? Oh, anyway, I mean, no. Just pull up a chair. Just pull on up and cuddle up with some good ass video analysis. I like how some of the stuff works out.
But I always knew it somehow.
Look at that little accidental lip sync. Always love it. Always love it when it comes together like that. It's countless little moments like that. I'm glad I know the term Owendon now.
I wasn't really paying attention. So this year, I
strongly tempted to use the thigh up close shot as a thumbnail, but we're still running the thumbnail test.
Its osmotic but deceptive reputation.
I am proud of the phrase osmotic but deceptive. Hold on, and I'm tempted on many occasions. To keep adding the little text subtitle jokes, but you can't overdo it. It gets distracting. In fact, the major thing that I kind of regretted about the earlier videos that I've done is just how often there's I use clips with the subtitles still in them, right? From Crunchyroll, but it's too visually confusing. This time around, I started just replacing them with my own bespoke subtitles. I'm pretty sure that's how Steak Bentley does it, and that guy is a YouTubing genius. One of my absolute Oshis, my mentor, my narration hero, my hamburger hero. That's what we'll call him. I don't know what word applies to someone you don't know and have never met, but someone you want to emulate. Hamburger hero. We'll just call him that. Can't call him a hamburger hero. That's fine.
Questioning her own agency the only way that makes sense. impulse travel plans and ill-advised
Mm,
artistic.
She just like me for real, for real.
My YouTube channel,
It's
where
too
I stream
real.
with a live 2D model I rigged myself. Here's a moment from my big Peru trip last
It's all 100% accurate, bro. It's kind of funny though. I like that I managed to. It wasn't even meant to be a call to action, quote unquote. It's just a skit. Ah, here's what I mean. Shut up, you.
もしかしたらこの会話がネタ振りだったのかもしれない。それは突然やってきた。
Yay! Nah, bro, it's like the steak Bentley and especially Emp Lemon. They always have the little interstitial skits, but they often work them into actual. Well, Emp Lemon at least does. He makes like his ad reads into little like full blown immersive skits, like climbing the biggest mountain in Florida and stuff. I appreciate that pacing helper. I appreciate the ability to take even some kind of a procedural have to do a kind of thing and trying to work in some entertainment value. It's one of the many things I take note of. Slowly but surely, I'm climbing my own metaphorical mountain towards passable content. Hold on. Let's see. This is the one. It kept coming back to the Endless 8. That really was the big impression lever. Okay, hold on, look. Alien A viewers with lots of arcane references that barely even make sense to yourself. Okay, there's a typo there. You don't have to notice it, though, because it's a flash frame. Shit! I'm noticing this for the first time. But the point is, Jean Baudrillard is the philosopher who was the basis of the Matrix movies, I think. He's the one who's talking about, like, if you were only ever exposed to fake simulacrums of real things, then you would not have any way of intuiting that they are fake and not copies of the real thing. Whereas Jean-Paul Sartre wrote the book Nausea, which was about a guy realizing that there's no terminal like the identity in himself, and that he's 100% plastic to his behaviors and habits, and that it's like his identity changes and shifts moment to moment, and at any given moment he could make a decision that causes him to become an entirely new person, and it results in a feeling of existential dread called nausea. So like both sort of apply, right? Like both sort of apply to Haruhi's little thing. But I'm mostly doing it as a joke because it's blatantly silly to bring these things up in an anime review. This is real though. Questioning your free will is probably what makes people go crazy. Dude, it was so hard to find that footage of Agretsuko, since I don't have Netflix, and apparently you're not allowed to record Netflix in a browser. They have blockers and stuff. It's true, she is. I had to find it in another video essay somewhere. Yam Albat tried to help me find the Netflix footage, but it was nothing doing. They're too crafty for us. Bro, it's fair use. I should have your fair use permissions. Let's make a time limit or something. Oh, hold on a minute. You know what? That SOS Don. Look. I feel like there's a missed opportunity there. I kind of wanted there to be some kind of like an insert, like a quick snapshot of, Metal Gear or Team Fortress or one of those meme boys. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it's like you missed a beat in a song. You can feel it. There's a joke there, a phantom joke, but I just couldn't find one that didn't feel that I liked. I don't know. Did I screw this up? Like and subscribe. Comment below if there's a joke I should have put in there. On the other hand, I did actually have a few good B-roll moments that I'm proud of. So, I mean, I guess I can forgive me. Where are we at? From the future, so there's two of her running around. Yuki Nagata is an alien with an asterisk next to it. All right, like these things happen. There's a lot of times I'm actually like there's like a section of the script actually trying to narrate about some topic, and a major thing I'm always thinking about with pacing is like sometimes it drags on too long, but I feel like it's worth mentioning, so I'll just try to replace it with something like this. a quick little on-screen text thing that kind of just, you know, butts in and fills in for you. It's the power of multimedia, boys. But honestly, yeah, it's I don't know. I never know. I never know for sure if I'm making the right call or not. I always just go with my gut. I'm like, I just have to, like, I record it all out, and then I'm like, oh, this is too boring. I don't like how long this is taking to say. I'll just cheat. I'll just text it in. Well, there's a few things like that, though. I am relying more on YouTube poop techniques to be pace resetters. Resetting the logic and flow of the video. You know what I mean? How many fucking clips there are, though. Look at all the little slices. Look at all the takes. Look at all the audio it took to put this together and all the generators tying it together. It's insanity. Snow Jelly! Hello. You sassy booty, Danny. It's been a while. Oh, we're just doing a little analysis of my video project before I put it away forever. Don't worry, I put the time to good use, not just finishing projects, but re-energizing myself and becoming mighty and powerful in my day as a lord or sorcerer, right? So I think I'm gonna try to. It's just guerrilla stream right now, but I hope I'll get some regular days. It might just have to be on different days than usual. But I've also thought of what, you know, games and stuff I want to do. You know. At the very least, maybe we'll try to do another meme along. We'll watch more memes at least before we get. If I can't get like a solid recurring schedule, I'll do like we'll do a meme watch along on some kind of basis, some kind of way. Oh, you know what? There was a comment too. Where is it? Yay! Someone in the comments actually like congratulated me on my use of the word "froward." I like it. Yes. I do enjoy being praised. Not in that way that VTubers always talk about, but you know, it's like someone's like gonna. I feel like the marshaling of vocabulary is one of my only unique powers. So I get a little pat on the head for that. It's like, all right, yeah, nice. And it's the perfect word to describe this character too. So, you know, it's nice when you have when you can vocab it up and it's actually perfectly apropos. There's a couple more. And you know, hold on, where are we? I don't question your wants in this life. I like that I managed to get over like all my this video. I feel like segues nicely. I managed to get all my points across, I think.
Plus, she course corrects on occasions when Haruhi ends up displacing them in time, which happens more often than you'd expect. The obvious hope with this character would be for the emotional blank slate to learn about love with the main guy's help. But the most of an arc she really gets is she gets to finally experience fun in the form of beating a bunch of Linux neckbeards at their own homebrew Steam game.
Boy, Linux neckbeards is harder to say quickly than you think.
The thing of it is she often ends up being the only one aware when stuff like this happens. There's no evidence of
some dinner. I see you popping my Infinite Craft. Oh yeah. I did see you playing Infinite Craft. That's such a good game. It's such a fun time. Well, we all know about Infinite Craft around here, don't we? Yeah, we made some first discoveries. I remember back in the day. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's a fun time. It's always a fun time. Oh yeah, I saw your first one. Sorry, I already got all of the Schrodinger's Weregirl and stuff like that. I feel like I got all the best first discoveries in the world. What were the other two? I saw the first one. Hold on, where is this? Where are we at?
Obvious reasons. She is crazy. And
she is crazy. Bro, you know what? Sometimes it feels like a little bit like using the OST of the anime I'm talking about as a bit of a cheat, but you know what? In this case, it works so nicely. I'm actually pretty happy with how the music cues like kind of chimed in. It works so nice. I mean, it is the music for the show, but you know what I mean. It helps tie the flow together. Flow glow. Vocal fry. I don't. I have to apologize if there was one that the whole point of this kind of talking about the video thing would be to clarify points that I don't know what I mean by that. I don't. I can't. We have to move on. I just have to pretend that didn't happen. I never get enough mileage out of that farm picture.
But, you know, it helps explain why he keeps getting cockblocked all the time. During one of the occasions where her ennui results in
Ennui.
a pocket of collapsing existence, I swear I'm doing my best to describe this show exactly as it happens, okay?
It's tough. It's a tough writing assignment.
Not with a psychic power showdown or some fourth dimensional trickery.
Dude, that's a legitimately tough thing about these is when they're like trying not to get too off the beaten path, just like summarizing the show and giving synopsis and stuff. You want to get to the meat and potatoes of it, but you have to explain some of it. That's something I go back and forth on a lot. I probably deleted pages worth of just describing things that happened. This script ended up being pretty long at one point. I managed to trim it down. I managed to trim this video down to a mere 17 minutes. And I feel like it's, well, you know what? The length isn't the important part. It just has to be as long as it has to be. I'm pleased that I can do that. That's one of the nice things about not being under the financial gun, so to speak, is, you just don't have to mind your deadlines are totally self-imposed. So there's like an advantage, Oh, wait, what? A little freaky. Well, I can certainly imagine the types of things you ran into, Snow Jelly. I mean, with my own experience in that game, 100% of it was on stream. But yeah, that game doesn't pull many punches, right? It's real. It's real and raw. It's all of us. It's where we all of our thoughts combine into new terrifying entities. Well, in any case,
Man, I thought this was going to be about a girl in a bunny suit starting a band or something.
Warning curses.
You'll typically see the melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi categorized as either sci-fi or slice of life.
Okay. another like nice little miraculous inclusion of the like the B-roll just happened to line up with the script. That wasn't a deliberate joke. Those just came together very nicely. Slice of life with a knife. Slice of life with a knife. Ooh, it's hard to change. I agonized over this. You could still hold on. Where is it? Oh yeah, there's a little doodad there. I agonized over including the like little comedy rim shot joke.
Sci-fi or slice of life.
Wait, what the fuck? What just happened? What just happened here? Haruhi's Vehei played a music band and got herself banned from industry by having a what? Is that real lore? Is that how it actually went down? For real? For real? For real? For real? Wait, what happened? How come the sound effect isn't working anymore? What happened? She played in a music band. That makes sense. She's a good singer and got herself banned from industry. Dang. That's wild. Well, that's wild real like lore. Everyone but the bassist. Wow. Is it like Kids in the Hall? Jeez. Oh, with her band. She had a particular kind of that's what I call an off collab. Where the hell is this goddamn? Why is this thing blacked out? I've never seen this before. Okay, well, M? No. Okay, whatever. I don't. Huh. Well, apparently this isn't going to play, but it's the little thing, Okay, I don't understand what happened. It worked before, but I went back and forth on that. I hope I made the right decision to omit it. I thought it was a little too on the nose. I thought it made it seem too much like this was a deliberate joke setup. I think it's more elegant as just a little accidental happy aligning of visuals and what was in the script, But I questioned it. I prayed on it. It was one of the most difficult decisions a boy ever has to make. But I hope I made the right one. Tell me below. Would you think it would be better with the rim shot sound? I hope I didn't ruin the entire video. Well, in any case.
Boy, oh boy, are they both ever fuck it close enough heuristics.
Heuristics is another word I'm pleased I got to work in here. Underutilized.
Rarely foraying into the larger than life scenarios.
That's true.
Does have a time traveling maid from the
time-traveling maid.
That doesn't keep them from dedicating an entire episode to Kyon heading into town to fetch a space heater for their club room.
Literally an entire episode, by the way. It's not even an exaggeration. It's hard to tell when I'm exaggerating here, but I'm reporting it as it is. I'm telling you exactly what I saw. I'm reporting from the top of the mountain, and it is accurate. Apparently, I'm only scratching the surface of the Haruhi lore, as our friend Abuse Me has just told me, but also because someone in the comments even told me on the video itself that the whole time loop arc was based on a single brief chapter of the original light novels. Basically, Endless 8 Part 8 is the only actual part of the original source material, and they which makes it even more amazing to me. Well, we'll get to that when we get to it. Hold on. Yeah, it is.
Dedicated to exhaustively chronicling the last few weeks of their summer vacation.
That's what got me thinking about it.
Making extensive use of what they call
real term. Okay, all right, bro. It's the clip. It's the King of the Hill clip.
We don't care about a buck here or there. Now I know why they call you Pa, cause you're pathetic.
And I know why they call you Ma, cause you're always riding my ass.
Oh, gold. Oh, it's. I feel like the King of the Hill bit is another, like, you know, it's some more YouTube poop aughts era DNA that works well with this video. But I'm pleased that I learned the term Ma from. Well, somebody was talking to there was like a Studio Ghibli interview or something. I think some critic or whatever was talking about how Ghibli films always have these long, quiet, introspective moments, and it was explained that the actual term for it is Ma. Like they have there's a common concept for it in Japanese storytelling, and I'm pleased that we got to explain that as well, and even more so that it occurred to me at the last second to work in the King of the Hill punctuation. It lines up very nicely. Overall, there's lots of little miracle moments in this video that weren't even planned out in advance, and I'm very happy they came together. Very Ichigo Ichie.
Spoilers, I guess, where we find out that there was a time-displaced Kyon in Yuki's apartment through the whole first part of the story.
Yeah.
They actually applaud the show's flagrant contempt for the conventions of story structure, pacing, and a basic human life. You know, you get to a point where you start to feel a little too.
Dude, this little like student film, I didn't learn until later, but I learned in the process of reviewing it. I didn't get a chance to mention it in the video because there was not really a good time to. But apparently, when the episodes first aired on TV, the very first episode was just the student film, like the entirety, the whole episode. That now is like one of the very last ones. There's a whole story arc explaining the making of their movie. But the movie itself was the first episode. So it aired at first with no explanation, and they never even explained why the movie existed until like a year later. Bold decision, my friend. You see why this show stuck in my craw? Also, Snow Jelly, long-awaited doctor's appointment. I'm glad you were able to drop by and find my secret gorilla stream. You're always brightening the place up with your presence. Good luck. I hope it goes swimmingly. It is wild, this show. This is why, like, you know what I mean? Like, this show compelled me to make a 17-minute video about it because I've never seen anything like it. And it's not weird in like the traditional Adult Swim way where, you know, it looks like a cute cartoon and then it's super violent or whatever. It's just like everything about it goes against the grain. I'm like, how did I miss this? How did I underestimated it? That's what. I knew about it. All I knew about it was the God Knows song was one of my favorites. I've sung that on karaoke here multiple times. And that is one of the main reasons I checked out the show. But it's also just like, you know,
guns, an ever-expanding catalog of tropes. It gets harder and harder to be surprised.
The whole thing.
Like something will be worth your time, especially in an era that sees us entering a fully redundant dystopia of barely cogent second-to-screen media.
I think I compressed this section too much. It's a little too quiet.
For anything that dares to do anything that could remotely alienate an audience.
Speaking of being alienating, it's me, OkAs, the VTuber. Oh, last carnival, you're not late. The only one who can be late to this party is me. And maybe, like, I don't know, eBay Shoujo or somebody, if it's a collab, that would be possible. But, you know, you just drop in whenever, friendo. This is a low-stakes situation, the lowest stakes possible. We're just talking about anime. We're talking about me talking about anime. Oh, thank you. I'm happy with how it came out. I'm pleased. This one, you know what? I have little doubts about many of the things I create as is right and true of all finite beings, but I'm particularly happy with how the pacing of this one worked out. It's long, but it doesn't really feel like it. Like I managed to navigate around all the dead spots quite nicely this time. Although I did find a typo tonight while we were reviewing it. I found a fucking typo. It's only visible for 1/10 of a second. But you know what I'm saying? Oh, there it is. Oh.
And the show live to be alienated.
Anyhow, yeah.
And how accurately it depicts the use of computers. My man even has a hidden directory for his Asahina pick.
Damn.
Boy, they knew their audience. That is a total family computer era move. I mean, goddamn.
Dude, it always drove me crazy as a kid whenever cartoons like, you know, the Fairly Odd Parents or whoever, like cartoons, like a character uses a computer and it's clear the people writing the show either don't know or don't care how computers and video games actually look, but that's it's like it's alienating, you know what I mean? It's a different. I can understand why like Recess would have cartoony computers because the people writing that show probably grew up in like literally the 60s, so computers were basically science fiction to them, and it was a surreal period for them when, you know, the Star Trek sci-fi was becoming real. But by 2005, it's like, you know, by mid-aughts, everyone's been using computers for years. You should know better, you know. And this show from all the way back then has like picture perfect. That was straight up Windows, bro. That was like Windows XP right there. That shit. The guy dragged him out of the recycling bin and put him in a folder and hid that folder from his manager. Like, damn. I think if you had a family computer, right? That is to say, your entire household had one computer in the whole house and everyone had to use it. You know, if you had content that you didn't want to be common knowledge, you'd figure out. You'd be in you know. You'd be industrious enough to figure out how to make a directory that couldn't be accessed without, you know, foreknowledge, right? You had a dot to the beginning of it in a Unix-based system, by the way. I don't know how you do it on Windows to this day. I never had to. My Windows computer is my own gaming computer. And I can let it all hang loose. I don't need no secrets. There are no secrets here. I think you just right-click and say show hidden folders or something, at least nowadays. I don't know how you did back then. It took a little bit more savvy. The point being,
okay, so this is where the story's going.
it's relatable.
The show deals in trickery and deceit, and especially
Oh, yeah.
fake climaxes.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the single most famous moment of the entire series is the famed Bunny Girl rock song scene, featuring the perennial classic God Knows. It makes its fairly unceremonious appearance in an episode largely dominated by a disinterested Kyon wandering around a school festival in a deprived stupor. He stayed up all night editing, and now he's paying the piper. Relatable.
There it is. Yeah, this was maybe one of the, well, not the biggest surprise in retrospect, but at the time, when I got to this episode, I was just like, wow, wait. God Knows just happens. It just has to happen. It's like the Dog of Wisdom Part 3, you know? It's like I only saw this clip for years and years. It was the main thing I knew about Haruhi, and I always figured this is what the show was about. Like, this must be some big triumphant moment of surprise where it's like, oh, her band finally gets to play at the big show and it's a big deal, and like everyone's, you know, it's like Marty McFly or something, you know? Nope. She just fills in for someone who's sick, and then they never bring it up again. She just briefly considers how fun it would be to be in a band. It's, you know, it's possible she doesn't even know how to sing or whatever. Well, that doesn't matter. Well, because she just rewrote the universe to make her good at being a rock band. But then why wouldn't she rewrite the universe to make her better at making movies? Unless she wanted to make a crappy movie. I don't know. Maybe the movie wasn't the point so much as getting to torture Asahina. See what I mean? There's so many layers. It's like a Shrek. It's a regular Shrek scenario. Where are we at? Hold on. Yeah, so, oh my God, this was
beforehand, and goddamn,
yeah. I hope I didn't effuse about this too much. Yeah, it's just a random song. Oh, I just explained all this. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at, boys? Yeah. It's like a C plot.
Much like the incipient promise of a romantic entanglement. It's just one of many trajectories a story could take, which are then duly shunned in favor of things I would just never expect.
It was so hard to, I had to rewrite and re-edit this little part a lot. It was like I had to like trim it down and move stuff around a lot to try to get it all out there without getting off the beaten path too much, you know, without like getting confused about what I'm talking about. It's tough, you know. Comes with practice though. We rewatched my old videos a little while ago for like my 4th year stream, I think, and it's just like, yeah, it reminded me of just how hard it was to get even basic ideas across. Now I feel like I'm feeling more confident. Ooh, I have powers. Ooh, I have powers in my hands. I feel like you're very comfortable in the realm of this is what happens in the show, and for various reasons, Haruhi kind of prevents you from doing that. Yeah, because it keeps tricking me. like it is sort of like that. There's multiple times in the show where I thought, oh, okay, so like it's gonna be like a harem cartoon. Oh no, there's a man now. There's another guy in the main cast. Okay, maybe it'll be sort of a Evangelion kind of dynamic, right? Nope, not like that. Okay, so maybe it's so it's like they're gonna fall in love. No, not really. Oh, kind of, not really. This is gonna happen. That's gonna happen, and then by the time of maybe the Tanabata episode, I just said, all right, what are you gonna do? I even thought, like, even towards the very end, though, the one last little stab of they're making a movie. They're making like a student film is like the new story arc. I'm like, oh, okay. Is that what the plot is about, them making a movie? And then even that goes off and odd. Like it's about to talk about it in the movie, but that's where like it gets the big climactic moment of that is when he almost punches her in the face, his Arthur moment. I'm like, so I thought the movie was going to be the most lighthearted, silly little fluff arc of them all. And it turns out, again, it's the only time it gets like really raw and uncomfortable. There's so many. The murder mystery on the island was like a goofy little romp. The summer vacation was serious. Hey, sorry you're late. Nah, I don't. I mean, it's like, you don't have to worry about being late. It's also, I didn't schedule this and I announced it like 5 minutes ago. So it's like, haha, I'm surprised you found it at all. If I saw the fan art, or I believe I did, but it's been a blur of time. I've seen multiple lovely fan arts. Which one specifically was most recently appended to my expanding repertoire? The arts server has become turgid with works of magic. Oh, are you talking about the hugging Miku one? Good Lord, yes, I saw that one. Yeah, I mean, how did you know? That's my ultimate fantasy come to life. How did you got me the exact thing I want for Christmas? Me and Miku, partners forever, like teammates, like Sonic Heroes. I wouldn't have the temerity to suggest any further relative. Like, Miku belongs to the world. Oh. Okay. So first of all, I'm delighted to have finally found a use for that Elmo clip. I've had that burning a hole in my back pocket for weeks and months since whenever that went up. It's the malfunctioning Elmo toy. Know that it was a toss up between that and this. Fubuki's hideous mic rending screech. I still need to find a way to work that in as an abrupt edit for sure. That's one of my spirit animal clips, but I figure the raucous laughter might confuse the purpose of it. I feel like malfunctioning electronically shocked Elmo kind of conveys getting rizzed up a little bit better. He's being overloaded. Get it?
And times where it looks like Haruhi might be jealous of Kyon paying attention to other women, especially the hapless Mikuru, whom she seems to regard with something approaching murderous intent at times. Like, it actually gets uncomfortable.
Okay. Here's another one of those cheater clips. Okay, look, you know what? The one thing I've a little diffident on is this part, just because I feel like the whiplash is a little strong, We cut back in with Super Drive, the second OP. It's all kind of energetic and genki and moving along, and then we have to take this aside for the uncomfortable part of the episode. Is the primary reason I bounced off of Haruhi. I feel like I was kind of conflicted about whether I wanted to go more into this or not, because like this is a significant churn in like the tone of the series, and it's like uncomfortable, well executed, but it's also uncomfortable and weird, intense. But it's like, I don't know, it's a little icky, and it's also just like one weird aside. We also don't really dwell on this for too much, but like the whole the mounting murderous intent towards Asahina, possibly as some kind of latent jealousy of Kyon's clear attraction to her. It's like, I don't know how much I wanted to talk about it, but also I think I worked it in as well as possible without like getting off in the weeds again. But this is the only part. This is the only part I'm like, and it's still kind of retrospectively thinking, maybe I could have done more surgery on this. Because we go from like kind of energetic and then this uncomfortable shit. And then I guess it kind of dovetails out with like the little joke edits. I didn't know how much joke edit was too much.
Well, she never really gets
I decided not to dwell on it too much. I erred on the side of caution.
possible that Kyon serves to be the moral compass that she desires to help keep her in line.
Yeah, bro.
Both Haruhi's biggest flaw and her main redeeming feature is the fact that she is unapologetically insane.
Yes.
Dare say narcissism is all about declaring an identity that is totally detached from one's actions. Haruhi knows that her actions inform her identity. That Asahina thing is kind of just an unusually unsavory incident.
Right. Like maybe
Go-getter. Like when she inevitably gets castigated by the school staff.
yeah, maybe making her like insane impulsive behavior more the thesis of this part would have worked. But also the video is kind of lighthearted overall and kind of silly times. It's tough. It's because the series puts you in a tough spot. Talking about Haruhi is hard. It's hard in the best of times and even the blurst of times. I think I probably did the best I could. Haruhi's villain arc probably is like, it deserves its own entire topic. I did see that there was a lot of videos talking about the Endless 8 arc all by itself. I'm sure I wasn't there at the time. I'm sure it was a big thing. I'm sure lots of people had a lot of opinions about it at the time. Whoa. Oh, you're gonna make it more fan art. That's lovely. I mean, yeah, man. Let loose. Do the, what's the meme with like the Federal Reserve printing the dollars and crying? Do that, but don't cry about it. Yeah, do that like happily. That's it. That's how I proceed. That's the Okazoku way. Do things to ludicrous success while it's still fun, you know? Well, in any case, I forgive me. We got back to bunny girl mode quickly. Oh, castigated. Add it to the list. Add it to the list of the words I'm glad we got to work in organically.
Outfit to advertise her club or setting off firecrackers for a film project. She's just sort of affronted that it doesn't make as much sense to everyone else as it does to her.
Yeah.
Like, I just brought these explosives to school to make a cool movie. What's the fucking problem? Everything about her and the world she defies logic. Even the production.
I guess Asahina turns out okay because her future self comes back. But yeah, it turns into almost like the what's it called, The Good Life, the Twilight Zone episode, you know, where they're all nervously placating the horrible kid because he has god powers and he like just fucks with everyone and turns them into jack-o'-lanterns and whatever, Jack in the Box, you know, same thing. It's the one that Simpsons Halloween episode was a parody of. I wisely decided not to talk about that because not only because it would be too much of an aside, but also because of the people who are well-versed in anime and 55-year-old Twilight Zone episodes. I think I'm probably the only one, and it would be a cultural reference that would serve no elucidative purpose. It's a little too James Rolfe, you know what I mean? A little too in that, you know, but it's still, but it also doesn't stay that way. We go back to her with the cutesy umbrella scene. You know what I mean? My poor brain.
Even putting other episodes right in between multi-part episodes. The episode about Haruhi designing a logo for their club comes directly in between a two-part.
What that we were all a little more James Rolfe. What a sentence. Yeah. That's a good point. It's a good point. I feel like maybe this is too static of a shot to hold on this long, even though it's technically fully animated. It's another Ma moment, but also, like, okay, there's two things to consider when like, you know, splicing shots together, right? And number one, it's like the contrast. It's where the line of sight is, right? Because every scene has its own composition. There's stuff that you're looking at, You know that eye filter thing streamers do, where they have the eye tracker and you see like the little goober on the screen, and the gag is always that, you know, they put up a picture of, you know, a girl in a bikini or something, and then it's like, whoop, oh, the eyes are going straight to the boobies. Well, like, but that's a good way to think of it though, right? If you're editing, like, where's your eye tracker gonna be? And then when you cut to the next shot, where's your eye tracker gonna be? Like, you're kind of looking at the slow motion, and then there's like nothing much to focus on. You kind of like your line of sight's probably right in the middle. So those two shots go together well without being too abrupt. And then when you just can't help but make it kind of abrupt, it's like you kind of, I don't know. I can't find, there's probably a moment around here someplace, but
Even the production defies logic. Apparently,
well, whatever. I like that rhetorical segue. I think this one has good rhetorical segues. But okay, but there's other scenes where, like, you know, the shots will slide in, or there'll be little cute little transitions. I can't find one right now, but that's what you do when there's just no elegant way to create that continuity, right? When it's gonna be uncomfortably abrupt or too weird. That's what the transitions are for. Ultimately, that's a good thing to bear in mind, you know. Try thinking about it next time you're watching a video by your favorite content creator, you know. See how many times they do it. And if you're ever clipping stuff together and it feels like awkward and you can't say why, that's probably it, baby. Oh, and there's also one thing. That's why he's posting. I'm actually kind of a slave to the cut. Yeah. Well, the other thing too is if there's music, or in some cases dialogue, cutting to the rhythm, right? Like cutting on strong beats. I think there's a few times in here where I do it, where I kind of let the music track guide where exactly the cut goes. That can help. It's like sort of subconsciously satisfying. But there's also is this one? Let's see.
That's certainly a decision someone made. But the second season,
this is the best example I can think of it, but there were definitely a few times where I kind of let a clip linger or cut based on like the rhythm of the dialogue line, right? Like where it's like if the thing I'm saying kind of goes up in inflection, and then there's like something kind of going up in the clip, you know, like they kind of match together a little bit. Or if there's a really still shot and you're kind of monotone, right? Like little things like that. It's just now next. I feel like it's a nice little layer of you know, kind of alignment, you know. And it's nice. Oh yeah, AMVs. Well, for sure. If it's solely music, if music is all you got, if the music is what you're going to. But then again, you know, you could also be paying attention to the lyrics or whatever. You know what I mean? Like put a cut that's pertinent to what the visual imagery. The verbal imagery
helped advance a long-standing mathematical equation to supermutate the ways you could watch the episodes. Even the Wikipedia page needs a friggin' Lycomb diagram to help keep track of this shit.
Sometimes I feel a little dirty for just filling the screen up with still images, but you know, sometimes that's just all you can do. It's just the point. That's what I'm talking about. There's just no other way to do it. So then you can watch me sleep. What? Oh, what? Oh, the paper doll will watch you sleep. Speaking of dolls, never mind. I'll bring it up later.
That I never thought of an approach to episode reordering like the one Haruhi does. The system trained me to think linearly, and now that I've seen a show like this so ingeniously work out a full story around a limiting production cycle, I wonder if more shows can do something like this to get artistic intent and production.
Our text jokes.
Looking at you, Hasman Hotel.
Gotta be few and far between. Honestly, though, Hasman Hotel, like everyone says that the season that's out, only 8 episodes, is kind of too fast paced. If they go back, if they fill in some of those gaps between episodes of new stories that take place between the episodes, that would actually be 10,000 IQ, I think. They can advance the story too, but fleshing out, adding more character stuff that's canon in between in the second season. I hope Busy Pop is a Haruhi fan, is what I'm saying. That is actually, I didn't even think of something like that until, like, Haruhi's the first and only time I've seen something like that happen. Usually you just see linear storytelling season to season, and maybe there's like a little side chapter thing in between, like Attack on Titan or whatever, but just, why not? Why not just release whatever in whatever order, right? You can only make so many episodes on whatever budget you got in a given year, so do the most important ones to make it engaging so that people will watch it. and then fill in the rest with additional context, developing, story arc stuff, and then it can just, reorder it later. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's brilliant. And yes, I am actually kind of mad that such a system was never even imagined by me until I saw this little anime show.
Seeing it in the full series chronological order certainly makes it comprehensible, but maybe watching it week to week in the most shambolic way possible is an irreplaceable experience.
There's shambolic, another word I'm glad I got to work in organically. If we're keeping tally, that's like, we got heuristic, we got forward, I'm sorry, I'm skipping merrily down the lane this whole week because I got praise for my vocab on the comments on this video. That's just, that's what it's all about. Filling the screen up with stills to provide a bunch of examples feels like a valid stylistic thing. Yeah. I mean, it's what people do. Some people really manage to Emp Lemon is a good example where he uses a lot of stills for surprisingly long periods of time, but manages to just, make it really engaging. But I always I don't know, maybe I just overthink, I feel like I'm putting something on the screen for too long. I start to get nervous. Maybe it's my attention span has been fried. Maybe I'm TikTok brained. Maybe it's too late for me. Maybe I'm just what I mean? Maybe it's just too late for me, Yeah. It's like a detective tossing evidence. We're tossing evidence. All right. There's more like destroying evidence. Am I right? It's a lot of stuff for this video. It's for the furnace. You know what I'm saying? You sold from John Boys. The boys. Well, who else? You know what I stole from Steak Bentley is the using abrupt music stings with text on the screen to replace not just for no reason, but I feel like it's probably the same reason he does it. Just probably something that dragged on too long verbally. Why did I think that was a gun pointed to his head? Well, it is Haruhi. It's not that unreasonable of a semiotic association to make. It is a metaphorical gun when you think about it. It's an umbrella that they can walk under together romantically in the rain. So, I mean, just like a fully loaded sentence, it could be akin to a weapon of mass destruction. Just that is a recommendation. Okay. Look it up.
There's a sort of
Look it up.
shock you see coming off people who say
The
they watch
boys.
the Endless arc in real time. Speaking of which,
Oh, speaking of Emp Lemon, yeah, definitely the the Mario boss music on a black screen. That's a total Emp Lemon move. Totally borrowed that. But you know what? Again, I'm pretty happy with how the transitions have worked. Not the style transitions, but just the changing topics a little bit. Nice and, nice and smooth, silky smooth from one topic to the next, flowing like water. And the Coyote Core playlist. Did I already watch it and not remember? Because I watched some of the Coyote Core playlist. Which one was it again? Maybe I don't remember because my brain is fried. I've also I've been binge watching Freerun all week, so that's basically all I can think about. The basketball one. Did I see the basketball one? I have to remember my teats to me. I mean, I'll look at the Coyote Core playlist right after this.
Endless fucking 8. Actually astonished at the temerity of the Endless 8 arc.
Oh, temerity, that's a good word.
Haruhi is a show that summons bizarre confidence to take what you know about narrative structure, pacing, and basic storytelling.
I like the little labels on the girls sort of represent the things. I didn't plan it that way. It just sort of happened. See, another emergent little moment, a little happy accident. You see what happens? See what happens when you're just in the sauce, the anime B-roll sauce for 3 weeks straight.
No, none of that.
Oh shit. Okay. This I feel might require a bit of context. This little bit. Yeah, I watched. Maybe it's I watched the first few. Okay, I know a lot of people probably won't know what the hell this is, and so the ensuing sentence might be very confusing.
Maybe saying a serial killer telling you to get in his van without bothering to put clothes on isn't the best pull quote.
Okay.
Maybe that's not a great pull quote.
That was I did multiple takes of that read, but one time I did genuinely chuckle and muse that it's not, you know, when you think about it, it's not the most encouraging thing to say to get people to watch something. Okay, so Nice Pete is a character from the hit webcomic Achewood, and he's a serial killer, and at one point he rues the fact that he never got to go to school, and so he abducts one of the main characters to replicate what his general notion of the high school experience is. It is an Achewood reference. He abducts Theodore and forces Theodore sleeps naked. So when he abducts him, he happens to be naked, but he doesn't allow him to get his clothes on. So he drives him all around town doing like pranks and stuff, and forces him to go to Denny's and things. You know what I mean? So that's like, you know, that's when Theodore says he's going to get his clothes on. Nice Pete just calmly says, no, nothing like that, right? So that's kind of what I feel like when I'm watching Suzumi Haruhi. It's kidnapping me to parts unknown, and I'm not allowed to get ready in any way. But, you know, and Achewood's heyday was in the mid-aughts, in a way, along with the YouTube poops and King of the Hill. I feel like all that, you know, it complements it nicely. We're talking about Haruhi here. This is sort of as much a love letter to the aughts as a cultural era as anything else, you know?
The infamous Endless 8 arc is about the closest thing they get to a filler arc, but which so flagrantly flaunts the logic of even having a filler episode that I'm honestly still shocked by it.
You're supposed to save money.
The strangest narrative decision in the history of media. Having an entire 2-part episode that more or less retreats all the exact same events and story beats as the prior episode with new animation, mind.
Yeah, they didn't even save money by reusing animation. They like made 8 episodes of the same thing. That's impressive. I like their moxie, bro. Also, yeah, you know, like filler arcs are supposed to do things that are inconsequential, not do nothing that is very consequential. There was just so many examples of the show just undermining everything I thought I knew about how the world could work. You know, well, it's one of the greats. It deserves its props. Probably gonna wake up randomly tomorrow. Yeah. I slept in today. It was great. In fact, I slept in yesterday, even though I wasn't supposed to, but it ended up not being a problem. So a little bonus sleep for the lad. That's always nice.
Now stuck in a time loop, and that this is like the 15,000th time it's happened. That would have been a good enough twist on its own.
Work didn't need me until an hour after I got there anyway. So, you know.
Twice. I honestly got gaslit by the second episode. Think I was accidentally loading up the first one again.
Legitimately real. It's for real.
On TV. I feel like this would have been
like I came back the next day and I was like, is this did I already watch this? What's going on?
kind of a controversy.
I was innocent back then.
But the high density neutron degenerate matter balls it takes to do what you did again for a 3rd episode. Without resolution. And subsequently again for a 4th and a 5th.
Oh yeah.
Eventually it dawns on you that it will
Oh yeah, here's what I was talking about. Like there's a couple little slideys. And then I pushed in the clip on top of the other clip because I couldn't find enough space to add a manual transmission. Yeah, you know, like. And it also helps to make it more abrupt because I'm talking about so many goddamn things. But the cuts, working different cuts of transitions, it can be challenging to not make it bewildering. Unless you want it to be bewildering.
This actually takes up more than half of the 14 episodes of the revised run of the series. There are still books and source material that hasn't been adapted.
The books footage is just a happy coincidence too.
Their decision to do this way. Man, just reliving it is like a death march. But I mean, when else on earth has watching a lot of TV ever felt almost like an accomplishment?
I mean,
simply stunning.
I gotta say that was one of the most satisfying payoffs by the end of episode 8 when they finally break the loop. Spoilers, I won't tell you how they do it or nothing, but when they finally break the time loop, it does feel like a breath of fresh air after being trapped in an underwater cave. Let's see.
Well, however mind-flaying the Endless 8 arc might have been, definitely remember it.
I will remember it for the rest of my days.
Fearful repute.
Mm-hmm.
See how singular an experience the show is? Mm-hmm. How misguided your assumptions might be? However well justified? Safe to say, Haruhi made an impression. Is it a good show? Yeah. It's hard to even begin to critique.
Perfect insert shot.
pyramids are good. I almost worry that this video might be doing people a disservice. Like, you either go into this thing blind or you miss the full impact.
There, see?
The first time is like if you lifted up a rock in the woods and beneath was a gleaming golden center.
I'm pleased how the rumble sound effect sounds in headphones. I hope it translated well to your speaker viewing experience too.
And then it dissolves into light and everything tastes and smells like raspberries for a week. That would certainly be a memorable experience. But mere vocabulary like good or bad falls short of being able to articulate one's feelings about it. Look, man, I watched the whole Endless 8 arc.
That does something to me. It changed me forever. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was going to do for that centipede rant, but I'm glad I managed to do something simple. I mean something just, you know, change it to pink. Hold on. There was one other, where's the other clip I was looking for as an example of something? Not that. Never mind that. Oh yeah, here we go.
I hesitate to use the word subversive, but the melancholy
as perfect as this is, it's yeah, I like that I happen to have an achrome piece of footage to slap this on top of. That is of course the wine tasting starring Rich Evans, one of the Mount Rushmore of YouTube. Is back when they were making a point about the, I think Rian Johnson or whoever who made the Star Wars sequels, and they were all about subverting expectations, and they made their little points ever so elegantly by making a short film where Rich Evans carefully peruses a wine list, then selects a wine bottle, and then he looks like he's going to pour it in his glass, and then he dumps it all over the table and looks at the camera and cackles like that. Artful, elegant, says a lot with a little. It was beautiful, and I'm so glad I remembered it existed just in time to cap that shit and put it in my precious little video project. Well, you know, that about covers everything. I think, you know, that's everything I can possibly say. All the thoughts that went into it, all the YouTube poops and achewood that I've consumed over the past year. I'm pleased that you were here for this experience. Also, you get to see just like how many fucking, look at this bloated ass project folder. Look at all the files I had to import. Look at all the recordings. There's many takes. Sometimes I have to redo them because I screwed up and said things wrong. Sometimes I just redo them for pacing issues or for like a little segue, or because I just think my read sucked. And then there's all the music I used and music I didn't use. There's so much. It's a big project. And it's just like, it can be discouraging when you look at the timeline at the beginning and you see how much empty space. Yeah, it takes a lot of tries sometimes. I mean, you can see how many like different, there's a lot of muted files here too from my old busted takes that I didn't get rid of for some reason. And there's like, you know, sometimes these takes are chopped up into little pieces because they're part of different audio files. You know, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Oh, there's a lot there. Oh, you know, oh my God. Just living on it. It's like reliving. It's reliving a lot of work. But you know what? Now it's over. It's out in the wild. And, you know, well, it's a good idea Miri gave me to do a little, you know, post-mortem examination and roasting of my precious little video project. That's fun, huh? Well, yeah, that's about it. Otherwise, you know, it's just been taking it as easy as possible while I adjust to my new, extremely busy lifestyle, which hopefully will even out soon. I should figure out some reliable times where I can commit to a stream where I will not be physically exhausted beyond any kind of survivability. At the very least, I think Wednesday night. I think Wednesday evening is going to be a likely candidate. But I'm working so many freaking double digits hours days. It is a nightmare. I hope I can come up with a more sustainable lifestyle soon. On the plus side, them ducats. With ducats, I can do cool crap. And I do have cool crap planned, or at least the beginnings of a plan, a little baby planlet that I'm nurturing. But I have said too much. Otherwise, anyone else see that Looney Tunes movie that they hid? The freaking Looney Tunes movie that they released in theaters and didn't tell anyone about? They only know about because there was a random post somewhere talking about how badly it was doing financially. I saw it and I actually got some chuckles out of me. It's just a straight up 2D feature film, like traditional animation, starring Daffy Duck and Porky Pig of all things in the year 2025. There's one good joke when they're growing up together and Porky's reading a book with like perfect flawless diction. And he knocks like a vase on his head and then it causes him to start stuttering. He's canonically brain damaged. I love that. I love that for him. A little bit of lore. What's this? It says hello. Welcome. How are you? You found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty! That's a good way to greet new people to a stream. I agree. I think that's a solid sentiment to bring up, you know? And I completely forgot what I was talking about. It was, you know, it was like I liked how they adapted old style humor with modern you know, a little bit of modern references, but not hitting you over the head with it. It was a throwback, more so to the 90s than the 40s, because I haven't seen WB crap since the days of Tiny Toons and all that. It was fun. Anyway, all right, we're done talking about Suzume Haruhi. Now I'm talking about the Looney Tunes film. Just go see it while it's still in theaters. I think it's one of those things that was released with the intent that it would fail. But otherwise, I don't know if I'll be able to make an actual schedule, but high probability of at least a Gorilla stream, at least on Wednesday night next week. If nothing else, we can watch some more meme magic before I figure out what we're actually doing. I do have a certain modified port of a certain Sonic game, so we could do that, as well as certain classic style RPGs. So basically, you know, classic RPGs and Sega games from 1,000 years ago. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to celebrate the mid-aughts continually with like more Project Diva or Sonic Unleash. You know what I'm saying? All of it. It's all the same. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Anyway, that's all the roasting I can dedicate to this one mere video project. I'll let it to its work now, and I'll let you all to a comfortable ass evening of repose and susurrous dreams, seeing you to a happier tomorrow. Mata yate kitara makoto ni arigatou gozaimasu. Bye bye, everybody.